Yeah, we were really happy to be home. It felt like we were on the road for a long time last week. Actually, I think a lot of us are kind of homebodies on this team, so we were really glad to be back at the event center back in Boulder. And I did not expect us to play that well, to be honest. We didn't have a great practice yesterday. We did have a good shoot around today, but I thought we played really well tonight. And against a different style of team, their offensive system is different than we typically see. All of the switching, they switch everything defensively, which we don't typically see. But I thought our defense really dictated our offense, and really, really proud of how everybody played tonight.
Start off with Kendall. I mean, that first quarter. I mean, you got I think 3 steals in a row. Those all led to buckets, and that kind of seemed to set the tone for this game. Can you talk about that sequence a little bit and just how you guys won, maybe set the tone with your defense?
Yeah, I mean, I say this every time, but we're a defensive team, and that's something that we talk about in the locker room all the time, and we really pride ourselves in that. And so, even Tam sitting here, we know that that's something that can feed into our offense, and so always bring that energy.
She gets all the early ones, but you had to lead the team in steals. So how much fun was it to play defense like that and just kind of, I mean, as a team, you guys racked up, I think, 20-some steals tonight.
Yeah, it was really fun, actually. I mean, just to go out there and just play like how we know how to play, it was great to feed off of, and it was fun to watch.
So what was it that you guys saw in the scout or just in playing against them that you guys could get your hands on so many basketballs tonight?
We really felt it we really paid attention to the personnel, so knowing how to guard each and every player on the court really helped us, and how we were in the gaps on defense and talking to each other. We communicated a lot tonight on defense.
And Kendall, I mean, just defensively, the 2 straight games you guys have held the opponent under 40 points. I know, you guys pride yourself on defense. So when you see those numbers, I mean, do you feel like you guys are starting to hit your stride a little bit defensively?
I think we definitely are. I think tonight was a big game for us, like Coach Day was saying. I think this is the first time that we've all gelled together as a team defensively. And like Tamia was saying, being in the gaps, talking, going for steals, and I think that shows what we can do.
Coach, before this last road trip, you talked about toughness.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like you're starting to see this team show that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, tonight, yes. Yeah, it was great. And we talked about some definitions of toughness going into the game. It's not bravado and chest bumping. It's being in a stance. It's communicating when you're tired. It's getting back transition defense. It's getting open when you need to, things like that. And I thought, I don't know if they took that to heart or they just did it, but I thought we played tough tonight. We didn't wilt. We didn't fatigue. We pushed through, we communicated, like both of these guys have said, which we really have been talking about the last few days, making sure we're on the same page offensively and defensively, and we did all of those things really well tonight.
So from a player's perspective, how much was it nice being home for either one of you?
For me, it was very fun. I mean, I like being around our environment because everyone's feeding into us, and so being on the road is we only have each other. So being here is everyone's here and everyone's helping us and encouraging us to do the best that we can play.
Completely agree with that.
Yeah.
Love playing home.
Yeah. So I want to ask you, Tamia, but then Coach, if you can comment as well. I mean, you really filled up the stat sheet tonight. I mean, only 5 points, but I mean, 8 rebounds, 7 steals. Lots of different things. Is that kind of the type of energy you want to bring off the bench?
Yeah.
Every night? I mean, fill up the stat sheet like that?
Yeah, always. I mean, Coach Jay's been telling me really work on my sense of urgency, and I think I really took that to heart, and tonight especially, just to show her that I can play at a fast pace and play the type of basketball we play. So really just feeding into what the information and everything that JR has given me has really helped me.
Yeah. Coach, can you talk about just this type of night for her?
Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing. We all know Tam is one of the most talented players on our roster. She can do things that nobody else can do. But we have been talking about, play with more urgency, be stout. We use the term stout with her. We need you to be tougher. We need you to be more just urgency, and she's capable of doing that. So I almost said you messed up. You showed everybody what you're capable of. So now we expect it. But no, I mean, if Tam can play like that, Tam really is an X factor for us. She's a difference maker. When she can play like that, it opens things up for other people. It creates windows and seams. For our post players, it can create transition offense for us. So we need Tam to play like that, and clearly she's capable. So
you're obviously a good scorer, but do you feel like you and the team is better if you're doing some of those other things?
Oh yeah, of course. Defense creates offense.
Yeah, and those rebounds, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so for all of you guys, I mean, you go to Boise now. Can you talk about, that trip, Kendall? I mean, just going back on the road after just a quick one here at home?
Yeah, it's a quick turnaround for sure. Like, we all just felt like we got back, but we're ready to go on the road again and challenge ourselves, being in another arena where we have 0 fans, and I think that that's going to be good for us in the long run.
And Coach, you know that place pretty well, so. are
Yeah,
you
yeah,
excited to
I
go up
love
there?
Boise. Actually, my brother's there, so I'll get to see him. He'll come to the game. But yeah, Boise State, I don't know much about them other than I'm, close with their head coach and assistant coaches, so we kind of follow them. But we'll dig into the scout here in the next day or so. But excited to go back to Boise and be able to, play against Gordy, and hopefully two teams play really well.
I know last win you didn't, put too much into 200 career, but maybe, this is 100 at CU. How does that kind of put your 7 years in perspective, and, many more to come?
Yeah, I like the many more to come. I just think we've worked really hard to have great staff and great players. I had a lot of old players reach out, after the 200, and and I thought, and every one of them, I was like, man, a lot of them were with you at the point guard, or a lot of them were with you hitting that jumper baseline. A lot of them, and so it's really fun to be at a place that you can stay long enough to do that. Because we've been at other places where we've sort of built a program and left. So it's been really a blessing to be here this long, and excited, along with these guys, to have many, many more.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, thanks, guys.